Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. We've got a lot of stuff to tell you. In addition to everybody here in the overflow rooms, I'd like to also mention that we're webcasting this with ourselves, with QuickTime Live, and using our partner Akamai. We now have over 14,000 live streams and climbing. We're broadcasting these streams up to 1 gigabit per second, so we're broadcasting now 4 gigabits per second live out of the Akamai network using QuickTime. So we've got people all over the country watching this as well. So let's get started. I'd first like to start with something that almost every Mac user touches, and that's the mouse. This, as you may know, is our mouse, and some people don't like it. And we have many faults, but we do listen. And so, you know, some people think that this is the worst mouse in the world. We'd like to change that. And today we are introducing a new mouse. Yay. Now, this mouse, we may go from what some people think is the worst mouse in the industry to the best. The first thing about this mouse that's extraordinary is it's optical. It uses optical tracking technology, and there are some tremendous benefits with this. It is the highest precision optical mouse on the market. There are no moving parts. There's no mouse balls to ever clean. There's no performance degradation over time. And you get this optical precision without a mouse pad on almost any surface. So you can farewell mouse pad. We're really, really happy with this. Now, you may ask, you know, this is really beautiful and there's this continuous surface over the whole thing. Where's the button? Oh my God, Apple's gone from a one-button mouse to a no-button mouse. No, not quite. Because it turns out that this whole continuous surface is the button. The entire surface is the button. It just levers down in the front. It fits any hand, whether it's a child's small hand or an adult's large hand, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. It works with any style. Some like to click the mouse with just one finger. Some people plop their whole palm on it. It works with any style. And it's got adjustable force, whether you like a delicate button or a slightly heavier push. The entire surface is this beautiful ergonomic button, and it works really, really well. So the new Apple mouse, now this turned out so well. We've been developing this for a while. It turned out so well that we want every Mac owner who uses a mouse to have it. And so we are going to make this new Apple optical mouse standard across our entire desktop line. It is the first time anyone has ever made an optical mouse standard with a personal computer. And we're going to do it across our entire desktop line. Now, to go with such a great new mouse, we've also designed a new keyboard. And again, this keyboard responds to some of the requests we've got, because the most popular keyboard in Apple's history was the Apple Extended Keyboard, and we've gone with that layout. We have separate cursor clusters, full-size function keys. We even have volume keys. and there's a key right on the keyboard to eject your disk. So it's really, really nice. And again, we are going to make this standard across our entire desktop line. Now, if you own a Mac, and you say, my God, I'd sure like one of these or both of these, we're going to be selling them as upgrades for only $59 each. And you will be able to buy them on the Apple Store only. We're taking orders today, and we'll be delivering them in September. So go ahead and get in the queue, and I think you'll really, really like this. So we're going to go from what some people feel is maybe the worst mouse in the industry to what we feel is the best mouse in the industry. And we thought it was so cool that we wanted to let everyone know, and so we're going to make a TV commercial, and I'd love to show it to you now. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, I gotta go make it happen, take the world in a go.
Isn't that great? All right, so brand new optical mouse, new Pro keyboard, standard on every desktop computer. Now let's get into the computers that they're going to come standard on. This is our product matrix, as you know. So let's start with the PowerMac G4. PowerMac G4 is an awesome product. Our Pro customers love this product. They can get at every component in a few seconds. And of course, it's based on the awesome power of the PowerPC G4 chip. This chip's incredible, and it has something inside it that makes it run even faster called a velocity engine. Now, the velocity engine allows this chip to run at over 3.5 gigaflops per second. A gigaflop is 1 billion instructions per second. How fast is it? I mean, it's hard to conceive of what is a gigaflop. Well, let me give you an example. Light travels at about 300 million meters a second, or about 186,000 miles a second. In 1 billionth of a second, light travels about a foot, right? When this thing's executing 3.5 billion instructions per second, in the time it takes to execute one of those instructions, light travels about 4 inches. An amusing side note to this is when you're executing instructions this fast, in the time it takes to execute one instruction, the light which has left your display hasn't even reached your face. That's how fast this is. And we're shipping these chips running at 500 megahertz today. Now you might ask, how does a 500 megahertz G4 compare to a 1,000 megahertz Pentium 3, or what's more commonly known as a gigahertz? How does a 500 megahertz G4 stack up against a gigahertz Pentium 3? Well, we'd like to show you right now. And so I'd like to invite Phil Schiller on stage, our Vice President of Worldwide Product Marketing. We have the best customers in the world. Many of you are here today. And some of our customers do all sorts of graphic things, graphic arts, and one of them is make movie posters. So we can get some great data from some folks that we work with in Hollywood on some of these great movie posters, and it makes for great comparisons in Photoshop. So tell us what we got here today, Phil.
Hi, Steve. Morning, everyone. What we have here for you, up on the left-hand side of the screen, you see a PowerMac with a G4, a PowerPC G4 running at 500 megahertz. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have a PC with an Intel Pentium 3 running at 1 gigahertz. The PowerMac is running Mac OS 9, and the Pentium is running the brand new Windows 2000 Pro. So pretty tough matchup set side by side for you. Now to show this off, we use Photoshop. Now Photoshop, as you know, is great because all of our customers in publishing and web design, they all use Photoshop. And Photoshop is great in addition because it takes powerful advantage of these two chips. It's accelerated for the velocity engine in the PowerPC, and is accelerated for what's called SSE instructions in the Pentium 3. So a good, fair, tough matchup of the best these processors can do. So let's open up a Photoshop file. And as Steve said, we got this file from an artist who was working on a movie poster. And we asked for all the actions that that artist did to actually create this poster. And with Photoshop, we can script those actions, and with one press of a button, it will do everything that artist did to make the poster.
All right, let's do our shootout. Count us down, Phil.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
So we're loading up the images. It's bringing a lot of graphic files in, and it's starting to do a number of actions like transforms, moves and copies, advanced filters,
The Pentium's
Gaussian
thinking.
blurs.
Pentium's thinking.
It's working. It is working as fast as it can. We're doing gradients. Really, it's the same file and the same actions.
This is the kind of stuff that a lot of our customers do many, many, many times a day. And if they can save a few seconds on each iteration, it amounts to an hour or two a day.
So now we're using advanced lighting effects and brushes and strokes, bringing in some more layers, using some masks. Now we're using a radio blur. So a lot of the powerful features used every day by an artist are used in this poster.
All right.
There, the Mac is done.
All right, the Pentium is about to start its radial blur. Gigahertz Pentium, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. There we go.
And the PC is done.
Great. So, what does this tell us? What does this tell us? We have a 500 megahertz G4 against a gigahertz Pentium. If you measure the time on these, the Pentium got done in 124 seconds. The G4 completed this task in 100 seconds. And we have dozens of cases like this we could show you if we had enough time this morning. So what does this mean? If you do the math, it means a 500 megahertz G4 is as fast as a 1.2 gigahertz Pentium would be if you could buy one. Okay? That's what the tests show. And it's pretty amazing. So we've got ourselves a really, really fast chip here, and it illustrates that it's not just megahertz, it's architecture of the chip and the system that contributes to performance. Megahertz is important, but it's not the only factor, as we've just seen here. But you know, we got to thinking, having one really fast processor is great, but you know, two brains are better than one. What if we could harness the power of two G4 chips at the same time? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We have a dual processor G4 here, and I'd like to invite Phil back up to find out how a dual processor G4 runs against a gigahertz Pentium running the same test. Let's roll. All right, Phil?
Well, just to orient you again, on the left-hand side is the Power Mac G4.